Imagine the heart-wrenching silence of a child who has been hurt by the people he or she trusts the most. Bruises just don't just appear physically, but they linger in the heart and the mind of this child that has been hurt by the people who he or she trusts the most. So today we are delving into a topic of gender-based violence, the pain and the bruises that a child has to go through or has to survive in the hands of perpetrators. I'd say perpetrators, even with the fact that these people are close people to him or her. So my name is Pretty, and this is the 3 Shades of Resilience podcast.
Shades of Resilience podcast.
Yeah, we are deriving this topic from a trend that we're saying we stand up for no. We say no to gender-based violence, but again, we are going to look it in an angle of which I feel like many of the people, most of the people, forget about it, forget about the children, the kids that were raised in a home that there were violence. So we have done episodes of rape, we have done episode of LGBTQ, and that is why we decided that this is a good angle as we talk about, we say no or we stand against gender-based violence. I am Doki.
And I am Judy. As the gender-based violence is a major key issue in our world today.
So today we are currently having a guest in the room, and let me maybe give him a chance to actually introduce himself, not themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Pretty. My name's Michael Ngugi, and I'm very happy to be here. And just expect fluency and flow in the conversation of today. And I believe we will put something on the table. Thank you.
Okay, so stay with us as we delve into this topic and to converse about the unseen and the seen bruises of what these children have to go through in this field or in this environment of gender-based violence. So I guess I'll start by asking you guys a question. What's your take on GBV?
My take on GBV is that I say no to gender-based violence, but violence can be in many forms. You can be violated physically, you can be violated psychologically, so it depends, and that is why I say it's a total no. And that is why I said in the other episode of rape that in case anybody is caught like you raped somebody, that is a mistake that should not be forgiven at all. Even it is a mistake that can never be justified. So no to that.
Okay.
Okay, to me, I also say no, because GBV affects 3 things in a person. 1 is mindset, 2nd is behaviors, and 3 is culture. Those 3 things will be affected. So for me, I say no, because mindset, the perception you have about people, about your environment, and about God. There is a person who cannot call God the Father. Why? Because of the GBV, how it influenced his or her mindset. And then the behaviors will be affected. You will find a person that cannot be able to communicate with other people, and that guy does not have many friends. So you will find it's like he's dying from inside. He's dying from inside because of the way he was affected. And this comes as a result of undergoing shame, because this GBV, it brings shame to a person, and you find that you are unable to speak to anyone because you will wonder, how will they take me? And then the culture, you will find that a culture, there is, like in Africa, this GBV has formed a culture that you find when this GBV happens in a certain way, and people take these things in a certain way, and you find that it's like a pattern that has been formed, and we need to change that. So for me, I say no.
Thank you.
Okay, for me, I'll say no, because this GBV later onwards, it will bring trauma, and it will also bring insecurities to many people, because they will not gain that love.
So I guess we usually view GBV as an effect only to women, but it's also an effect to men who cannot stand out and say that I am a victim of GBV. I don't know why
Michael, you're a man. Can you
Yes.
actually, what's your take on that? Because some men cannot confidently come and stand out and say, I am a victim of GBV and I stand to fight against GBV. It's only the women who are like, okay.
Okay, you know, this thing is like by nature. In this world, how we are living, there is this culture that has been formed whereby people say men should wanafaa kuvumilia, like men should persevere everything. And so you find we have been raised by this culture. Like for me, it takes a lot to break that culture. Like as for me, I can say I have been a victim of GBV, but most of the people, most of men, they cannot say this because it has been formed as a culture, and also the perception that the society has towards men. Because the society believes, man, you are a man, a man should go abroad. You know, like people don't expect to see a man like he's going like to these organizations that deal with human rights and saying I have been a victim, I have this and this person has done this to me. So you find because of that culture a man cannot speak. Like you find I come from Kirinyaga, and there was a time it reached to a point whereby men in Kirinyaga they were being beaten by their wives. And this thing, it is not just the other day that's when people came to realize that, and actually it hit the social media platforms. But that is not the time it began. It began long ago. But because of the perception that the society has towards men, men had to be silent until someone say, this one is too much. And we need such a person in this generation. And I thank God for the Gen Zs, because the nature of the Gen Zs, they speak out. They speak out so quickly. That's why when the president says this, and they feel like it doesn't ought to be this way, they speak out. They speak out. So I can say it has been a culture, but now a new trend is coming up whereby even men are speaking even louder than women.
Now, can you talk about like now a child who has been brought up in a in that environment where there is violence, like the person growing up, grow up with that norm of, you know, beatings there, mama can beat, dad can beat mom, you know. I feel like it's such a huge trauma, and it comes to affect us when we just grow up, because the way he has said it affects your mindset, how you view other people. Because there is a friend who shared a TikTok, and the person was saying of how like I don't talk to my biological mom, and like he gave the explanation of like this is what he said. I tried why don't you talk to your biological mom? That is the question that he was answering. And so he said, I tried when she found me dirty with bruises all over my body after her boyfriend, so his mother's boyfriend, now like akam sodomized. Then I was 10 years old, but she didn't believe me. She beat me up. So this is a kid who is going to grow with a lot of pain, and maybe is going to I don't know how he can relate with other people. Is going, because that is, I think it affects even in relationship. It affects all around everything, because can you forget
in scenarios where you get people, maybe a girl is afraid to fall in love because he or she has seen the journey that the mother has gone through, to the extent she cannot trust a man. Maybe you having a partner, you can't even be free with him because of the journey that your mother, not even your parent, your mother has gone through in the hands of your father. So some parents tend to project these issues to their kids. We find there's a problem between a mother and a father, then they project the same issue to the child. Unapata a father is sleeping with the daughter. For example, let's say in instances of stepmothers and stepfathers, because you're having a stepfather, because the father knows that you are not his biological daughter, he tends to be sleeping with you, and the moment you're going to tell your mother that so and so has been sleeping with me, the mother will be like, I want to protect my marriage, so I cannot kuingilia stories. You know,
I'll just be quiet because I feel like the person who was sharing that online, I feel like he also, I think the mother was like, I can't, you know,
break my marriage.
and you see the person is being beaten just because he spoke up and said that, you know, your boyfriend sodomized me, and I feel like that is why maybe it affected him along the way, and until now he had to go to other things, like he can't believe a woman and have that relationship with a woman, and feels more comfortable sharing it with a man, because I told my mother, who I thought she is a shoulder,
I'm going to find Solem.
Solem from my mother, but that did not happen.
Okay. So to answer this, that's a very good question. The reason as to why this girl, this small girl, cannot talk to her biological mother, number one, it's because of this girl, higher possibilities are that this girl, the father of this girl has been absent. Remember, there are three kinds of fathers. There is the present father, the absent father, and the present absent father. So you can be a father and you are present, but being present, it doesn't mean just physically, even emotionally and psychologically. So as for this girl, because the mother is not ready to break up with this man, so this girl will be forced to look for another man who will act as a father. And most people in our society are judging these university students and college students who have sponsors, who are very old people. By the way, let me tell you, do you know why? It's because they are not looking for money. They are not looking for these Ferraris and all that. They are looking for somebody who will act as a father. Like, you see, like, it's not about just going and sleeping in the bed. It's about, like, how am I connecting with this person? Remember, there is a hormone called cortisol, which is the love hormone. So since this girl, she has not been feeling the presence of her father, it is a must for her to look for another man who will act as a father. And number one, it is not just for love. This girl needs something called healing. It is one thing to disattach from something. It is another thing to forgive something, and it's another thing to heal from something. I can forgive you,
but I've not healed.
But I have not healed. I can disattach from you, like I stopped speaking to you, but I have not healed. I still remember that thing. You see, there are these people who say, like, I forgave that person, but I still remember this person needs to undergo healing. Number one, psychological healing. Like, and this psychological healing is the one that makes people to look for father figures, because they need to heal their minds. And then when a child grows in like that girl, like the mind will be affected, and it will take speaking to another person for that girl to heal and the mind to be free, to be open. You just look at these people who come from broken families. You will find that they don't think in a certain way because they are not able to speak to people, so their minds will be limited. So it takes healing, like the way that girl looked for a man to tell the story. It's because she wants to heal. She's like, why can my mother do this? It's this thing is painful, and you find the society and the environment, the people around her are not understanding, and they are not ready to understand, because it has, as I said earlier, it's a pattern. And so she must look for a person who will understand her and ensure that she's comfortable and she has really healed.
Okay, I think the big challenge here is about the parents. The parents, they should be close to their children. Why? Because when I'm close to my child, he or she will be atakuwa open, akuja niambia, mom, this happened and this happened. And if the parent is strict, you know, we have this kind of parents, strict parents, that you are not comfortable talking to them. That's the challenge. I think parents should pick up on that.
Do you guys think like for these traumas in future, I feel like these traumas, do you guys feel like these traumas will affect their relationship with maybe for you, like maybe you growing up in a violence in a place where there is some violence, do you think like it affects the way that you're going now to have a family in future? And maybe you have not healed from this, because it's a big trauma for you to be healing. What do you think, guys? Because
it is a big challenge, because remember, when, for example, a girl, when undergoes this trauma, it will be hard for her to enter in a relationship.
I guess it's actually a matter of healing, that just as you said. As long as you have not healed, you're going to project the same trauma you had in your past to your children. So maybe itakuwa you're having a conflict, to say it's a girl, you're having a conflict with your husband. You'll be like, you know, my father used to do this to my mother, even so you're like comparing the trauma you had
with the current partner.
With the current partner. So I guess it won't even work out.
Okay. So to this, let me say, if this person does not heal now, it will affect so much the relationship in the future, maybe in her marriage, or even relating with other people in their career spaces. Why? Because there is something that was developed, fear was developed. That's why you find our mothers back in the village, when they are going to sleep, they are wearing jackets like people who are going to ride a motorcycle. Why? Because that fear was developed, and like they like how they saw their parents being treated, how themselves they were treated. They say it's so hard for them to trust this person. And that's why once a person said that a man who gives you water in his house, he just gives you water, but a man who gives you water in the desert, he gives you life
and water.
Yes, he gives you life and water. So so it's very important to heal now. If you are there and you are that kind of a person, ensure that you heal now to avoid damages in the future, because these things work in this way. If your grandfather was a drunkard, then your father was born. Your father was born seeing the drunkenness of your grandfather. So this father will get depression, and because of this depression, he will be led to drink just like the grandfather. Now you are here, you come as a son of this father who has depression and he's taking alcohol. You yourself, you will get depressed, and you will start drinking alcohol, and on top of that, another thing will be added up, anger, because when you are being beaten, you are like, how can I do this? How can I avenge myself? They have been beaten so much, I want to run away. So you will have that thing of anger issues, and therefore, if you don't heal, you will find that anger that you kept storing up. It will just once, it will destroy everything that you have been building for years. And that's how it will be affected. That's why you see most of the relationships in mostly to the people who are 30s and from 25 to 35 and to 40s, their relationships are not trusting. Why? They have alcohol, they have depression, and then they have anger. I find you cheating. The anger that I had since I was a child. that anger, I come with it. So I just damage everything.
Okay, what about scenarios where you grow up in an environment where there is violence again, but at this point you know you grow up like let's take for example a man, you growing up, you grow in that environment, and then you take it as a normality. You know, it's a normality where like a woman is supposed to be beaten. You see, and now you're developing a relationship, and you see, this is a kid who has grown to know that maybe beating a woman is not a big deal.
It's a daily dose.
It's a daily dose. It's not a big deal. So you're developing a relationship where you feel like if I hit this woman, it's not also a big deal. What about that? What is your take on that? Because you know, you can the way the environment you grow in shapes you, shapes the person you're going to become. So huyu mtu ni ule mwenye hajachukulia kuchapa na ama kuchapwa kwa mamangu is not a negative way. You know, a woman should be beaten. What do you take? Or what is your proposal on that?
I guess personally I say it's a matter of self-awareness and exposure. Because if definitely unajua mtoto unasemanga mtoto anafuata kisogo cha mama yake tukai. So I guess kama you all your years umejua a wife should be beaten. This is a daily dose. So kama huna that exposure, like maybe ujenda bank nini uja kuwa na interactions with other people to understand how a wife should be treated, how this should be done, how a kid should be raised. I guess it will be a problem kwa sababu
because you know back in the old days in the like even if your dad is so bad, your mother could never admit that your dad is bad. They could you know he's your dad and you should give him the respect that he deserves. You know, so like I don't know, I feel like also women fail to speak up during those times because you could have spoken up. But I don't know how you're going to speak up against now somebody's father because now this is your kid who is supposed to know this is your father. But me, I feel like if you are in a relationship where somebody is beating you up, that's
you have to know your rights. I guess like Maisha say, if you don't know your rights, you're going to be hurt with everybody that comes your way because you'll be breaking your marriages, get into another marriage, break, and again break because that you are in the African culture where marriage should not be broken. It should be.
Hey, mimi hata kama ni peto ulikuwa umevalisha you just kutoa. The moment you just raise your hand, it means that's
a lot of disrespect.
Now, for me, my proposal on this, I would like you first to understand these things are a bit generational. Like the way the baby boomers and the Gen X took relationships is not the way the millennials took the relationships, and it's not the same way with the Gen Zs. The reason is why the millennials, that's like our parents, the parents of the Gen Zs, they, according to them, they had patience. They have a lot of patience. Like me, I remember I come from such a family whereby mom was being beaten. In late days, mom was beaten by dad, and she would tell me, you Guki, this is your father. Respect him. He's your father. And this man is the present absent father, like I said. So he's not providing school fees, no food, beatings, we sleep hungry, we sleep outside the house, and you know in Kirinyaga how cold it is. So these millennials, they did not know how to disattach. Like they had so much patience. That's why you find there is a person who has worked in this institution like MINAP for more than 20 years.
True.
And he's still here. He wants to retire from here. And then you go to another place, you find another one. He has stayed for in an organization for 30 years. Why? They had patience. Millennials had patience, and it's not easy for them to disattach. When you become too loyal to something, this blind loyalty, like everything is yes boss, like this blind loyalty, it will make you not feel so easy. It will not be so easy to disattach. That's why you find when they are fired, they go back in the village, they start farming. They cannot go anywhere else because they were so much attached. But now look at the Gen Zs. That's why I told you this is a very different generation. You find a Gen Z. In 6 months, he has worked in more than 6 companies, and it's just in 6 months. So I feel for me, these beating wives, it's not good. It's very painful, and if you come from such a background, it will take healing, as I said, and then understand the pain. Like me, the cries that I saw my mother crying, they are the ones that motivate me even now to keep focusing. And that thing, I cannot do such a thing to my wife because I feel the pain. Yes, I'm aware of the pain.
Okay, as you're concluding, I guess I'll ask you guys to actually address a child or a parent that is maybe undergoing or going through the gender-based violence. A child that has been a victim of GBV for quite a long period of time, and he or she does not know how to escape from this jungle. We call it a jungle, right? So I guess
I feel like for a child who has grown in this environment, take your time to heal. Just to heal, because forgiving is not easy for somebody who has done something like such a wrong thing to you. But I feel like you should heal and give people around you an opportunity to show you that love exists. There are people who truly care. There are people who aren't violent in such a way. And to a person who is in such a relationship, you should walk away no matter what. Heri wende ukakufia uko mbali, uko kabisa, heri wende bonde la for wherever you go, but just move away from that relationship. Nobody, you can, even if they caught you doing the wrong thing, nobody deserves to give you some slaps. Nobody deserves to give you some beating. And for a person, if you are beating your partner, man, come on. You cannot be beating somebody you love. You cannot be violent against somebody you love. So, love is caring. Love is a lot of things, but love is not beating somebody else.
Okay, I'll say like that you should detach yourself from that, and also you should heal. Just trust the process of healing.
Okay. For me, I would say to this person, because I understand the pain, first of all, heal. And how are you going to heal? Get people, have mentors in every field. Ensure that you have mentors. Like me, man, I have a lot of mentors. Like in every field, I have mentors. Even when it comes to marriage, I have already looked for a mentor. Yes, like one of my mentor, Benihinwa Lubengo, he got a child at the age of 18, and he had to take responsibility. Like I have another mentor, Bishop Elijah Mosao. He has stayed in marriage for more than 20 years, and it has been so good. So get people who will listen to you to ensure that you heal, and then get a lot of exposure. Look at different people, how they do different things, because there are people who saying I love you. That for that one to come out, for them it's very hard. Even telling you like you look good, that one is so hard to them because of the background, because of this GBV. And also I'd say, if you are being beaten, my friend, don't say that I will pray for him, he will change. My friend, even when Elijah was praying for rain to come in Israel, he went to the mountain. He didn't stay with King Ahab, who wanted to kill him. So if you are there, Moliferan. Yes, that's my message.
Okay, so I guess I'd say that bruises do fade, but memories never fade. You should never be victimized because of gender-based violence. Just as they have said, run away. If you can run. Mvumilivu ataka sema mvumilivu hula mbivu, my friend. Hautakula mbivu. So remember, just remember that bruises zinaweza fade. Hautaonyesha anywhere that, as he is saying too, he is a victim of that. But you can see he doesn't have any bruises to show that he is a victim of GBV. So memories do not fade. Memories do linger and stay in our hearts and minds forever. So I guess exposure is the only solution to this, and self-awareness. Have mentors, have people around you that are going to tell you that if a person does this to you, say no to it. Say no to gender-based violence. So keep on liking, sharing, and subscribing. 3 Shades of Resilience podcast crew. Bye.
Shades of Resilience podcast.